Let's get to the news.
Right.
Let's get to the news desk. Here we go. We got our games for week number 15, our simulated games. Mungyeong and Munje are at 4-8. They're taking on the 3-10 Ottawa ALLCAPS. Simulate the game.
Mungyeong lose this, they could be within contention.
What the hell? Ottawa puts up 80.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is this?
You're supposed to be tanking.
Pink, didn't I predict this for a different team?
You're pump tanking. What are you pump tanking for?
You predicted Flint to go 50 points. The thing is, now Mungyeong have a chance to tank.
Wagner, Greg's run, Greg's throw, Greg's.
Mungyeong got blanked in the third quarter.
Holy shit.
28 points of blank.
That is
third quarter skunk.
That is a 10 touchdown game for Gregors Brzeskovic.
That's a perfect 10. No interceptions. Player of the game.
Yeah.
Unless one of the receivers.
There may have been a 10 touchdown game simulated in the past, but that's the one that I can recall in recent history.
That's insane.
He scored all 11 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah, and he ran it too.
Okay, that may be right.
I think that definitely has to be like player of the game at least.
Oh, and the average
11 touchdowns by one player.
Yeah. And they averaged 6.9 yards per pass.
Oh, Joe Leck said tied for fourth for biggest margin of victory in a sim game.
All right. What about most number of touchdowns scored in a sim game by a quarterback? We shall see.
We shall see. And now time for another Tank Bowl team.
Llanfair PG are at 3-10. They're taking on the Winchester 73s at 8-4. Simulate the game.
Yeah, the thing is that 80 would have been the record if it wasn't for the 84 2 weeks ago.
Holy shit. Llanfair wins 43-33.
What the fuck?
We now have
it's upset
3
week,
teams
folks.
in contention.
Fucking Winchester were tops of the division.
I know. Upset.
What is going on?
I don't know. Avery kicks field goals. That's all they can do. Williams goes off in the third quarter. Samuels was in. Yeah, it looks like Winder Shrinking left. 5. Yeah, he was out for most of the game.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
I was going to say that second quarter they got 14, but then it just went down from... I think he could be injured.
We'll have to see. George Kettle with 10 tackles. That is the Jeff Fisher's Golden Mustache Bowl. That's going to be Football After Dark. The Flintstones are at 2-10. They're taking on the San Antonio Gorditas.
All right, let's see if they get 50 points like you...
And if I'm correct on this, I think Flint right now is sitting alone on Contankion Island as tops in Contankion.
Yes, at 2-10. Even if they win this, they'd be 3-10, and they'd still be tops for Tank.
Simulate the game. Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
56-31.
Oh,
Flint.
Firestorm, hold on. Firestorm literally predicted that Stones would get at least 50 points in this game.
Christ.
What the fuck? What is going on?
What is going on this week?
It's fuckery week, folks.
I don't like this. Kyle Triplett, 23-36, 293 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
The super weapon is finally super again.
Holy food.
Does that mean Lafayette's going to win this week, too?
For 99 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Holy fook.
And he also had 14 tackles and an interception.
Wow, what a game for Fook.
Iron Man. Okay.
Oh, does that mean the Crazy Cajun's going to win, too?
Okay, nothing crazy is going to happen in this game, I hope. Deadhorse Mountains are at 10-2. They're taking on the Dinosaur Fossils at 7-5. Simulate the game.
If Deadhorse do win, I think they at least get in playoffs.
Simulate the game.
They've lost 2 in a row.
42-38, Deadhorse. I think they're in the playoffs.
There we go. Some normality.
Earl Emanuel, and there's a Tinsley with a 24-yard pick 6. McPherson had to come in. Uh-oh, we might have a starting quarterback injury.
Uh-oh.
Nobody
Dun,
survives
dun, dun.
Nobody, and I mean nobody survives this week.
Oh
Welcome
no.
to Hell Week.
McPherson seemed to have been doing all right.
Came in off the bench. Kingston Punishers are at 8-4. They're another quiet team to look out for. They're taking on the 4-8 Lafayette Subjuggulators.
Lafayette's gonna win.
Lafayette
Oh no.
is back in Contankion as a result of the earlier game, so we'll see what happens.
It's a big ol' upset.
Buzzchins haven't played yet, right?
Kingston 50-21.
There we go.
Finally, some normalcy.
Bill Dickerson, Timmy 2 times was involved, scoring some points. A whole lot of them on top of that. Let off the gas a little bit in the fourth quarter. Didn't need to do much. Timmy 2 times 30 of 44 for 309 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Lafayette got blanked twice.
Ouch.
I think their kicker came in.
Yep, I think kicker came in for Lafayette.
Bill Dickerson, yeah, Eugene Carter had to come in. 4-7, that's all he did.
More kickers, more kickers.
Sicko kickers. The Reading Rainbows are at 9-3. They are taking on the Fighting Polygon team at 6-7. Simulate
Fighting.
the game.
And they do it again.
In a close one. Fighting 42-41 over Reading.
The champs lose.
Nobody wants to win our division.
Nobody wants to win our division.
And Guts Davis still played.
The legend.
Gus Davis.
Guts Davis still played.
The fighting legend of Gus Ironfoot Davis.
2 legends tonight.
6 touchdowns.
Just spreading like moldy bread, and he's still playing.
6 touchdowns for 2 interceptions.
Yeah, it might have to go to the receiver on this one. It might go to,
Eddie Jones.
no, Alfred had 3 touchdowns.
What's Alfred?
Yeah. 6 catches, 70 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think that's
Yeah.
looking like your player of the game. And he also had 10 tackles and an interception, so...
Dude,
Yeah.
Fighting are in the same division as Hope and Saskatoon. Nobody wants to win that fucking division.
This is delicious shit. Madison and Kansas City is the game next. Burbank is at 9-3. They're taking on South Park at 5-7. Is the South Park super weapon. The Mecha
South Park.
The Mecha Streisand. Still firing up.
Come on, South Park, do it.
They did it. 37-27.
Fuck's sake.
The Mecha Streisand rolls on. Stumpy nothing.
Burbank got blanked in the second quarter.
Campbell McAlpine didn't really have that bad of a game. 28-43, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Just Stumpy Nothing had a better game.
Yeah. Can't fault him.
Nope. Just 2 good teams. Just one team was better than the other on the day.
Percy Gaines with 5 catches, 43 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Let's see if he had any Iron Man action there. Oh, yeah, he did. He had 16 tackles and a sack.
Wow.
And I'm out of the hiccups.
What a game. Oh, no.
And in our final game, fuckery had a name. Name would be Pittsburgh Salad Fries.
What's Pittsburgh win?
The Pittsburgh Salad Fries are at 5-7. Oh, excuse me. Alaska Pipeline's at 5-7.
Still fourth.
Salad Fries are at 7-5. Simulate the game.
Salad Fries without Kurt Warner.
Win. 34-31.
Fucking called it. Pittsburgh are well within the playoffs right now.
Foster had to come in for Merton.
Oh no! Merton is hurting.
Merton be hurt. Brickley having a good game. Brickley 26-50, 255 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Pittsburgh won despite getting blanked in the first quarter.
Jerome Mills 9 catches, 122 yards and 2 touchdowns.
What a game for him.
That's a good game. Travis Brickley may get the honors. So let's check the injury report first. Jamal Dudley is reasonably clean. Only injury for the ALLCAPS. South Park is clean. Lake Green 4 weeks. Alderman is out for the season for Baltimore. The backup will be in tonight. Kenny Pruitt, Shane Teague, and Fred Diaz, all with injuries. Carl Burrows out for the season. Bear Striving is out for 5 weeks with a broken jaw. He's going to be out for pretty much the rest of the season. Anthony Bradley as well. Lamar Pope, Matt Simmon, injuries for Dinosaur. Saxonville's out for 4 weeks. T-Rex Taylor is listed as doubtful, and Austin Evans is listed as questionable with a turf toe. San Antonio is clean. Wizardy Herbert will be back next week. Joel Lee and Kwame Blake, the injuries as well for Boston. Henry Coleman, Lamont Starks injuries for Kansas City. Dexter Mason, Justice Serve is out for 3 weeks. Sammy Weaver out for 2. Kim Bott for the Deadhorse Mountains, star wide receiver, out for 3 weeks with an abdominal tear. Todd McMillan with a concussion out for a week. Jason Conway and Pete Randall injuries for the Mungyeong Munje. Hope Peak has 5 people injured. Phil Suggs with a fracture listed probable. Rob Russell. Makoto Naegi is still out for 3 weeks. Kevin Thomas is listed as questionable. And Tremaine Tanner is the remaining one. Yep. So they have 2 injuries at quarterback, 1 listed as questionable. Ryan Leaf, as we all know, out for the season for Llanfair. Bubba Clinton's out 6 weeks. Darius Hicks and Harry Tate out for the Alaska Pipeline. Guts Davis is still listed as probable. This man is half alive and still playing. Kingston is clean. Reggie Henson is the only injury for Reading with a broken jaw out 5 weeks. Kurt Warner's with a busted collarbone. He is out for 5 weeks, so he's out for pretty much the rest of the regular season. Antonio Cox listed as questionable. Horace Brickley with a torn pectoral is out for 2 weeks. O.J. Smith out for the season for Winchester. Marvin Dorsey and Chris Taylor out for 4 weeks. Ben Sherwood out with a busted ass. Josh Boone's out for the season. Luther Houston's going to be back next week for the Flintstones. Yabba Dabba out for the season with a busted hip. Ralph Richardson, Sharif Rocktakazba still listed as probable, playing on that high ankle sprain. And there's your injuries. Now we'll go to the standings right as it stands. If the season were to end today, we'll take a look first in the American East Conference. We have Winchester and San Antonio tied atop the league at 8-5. The Jelly Beans are at 6-6. Depending on the outcome of this game, with a win tonight, they'll be 1 game back. Lafayette, Mungyeong, and Ottawa are all in contention in this section with 4 wins. American South has Reading, Kingston, Dinosaur at 7-6. Baltimore still has a chance. And we got Llanfair and Flint currently leading contention. Llanfair's in contention as well. So if the playoffs were to start today, it would be Reading or Kingston, probably Reading by virtue of tiebreaker, would get the number 1 seed. Kingston would get number 3, and that'll be either Winchester or San Antonio as either the 2 or 4 seeds. So we'll be looking at Reading, Winchester, San Antonio, and Kingston in the playoffs. What a wild group. Who would have thought of those? In the National Midwest, Deadhorse would get tops. Buzzchins would get the number 2 seed. Number 3 seed would either go to Madison, or 3 and 4 seeds would go to Madison or Pittsburgh. Still in contention, though, is Hope and Saskatoon, breathing down the next of Madison. And don't forget Fighting Polygon, who's a game and a half back, and even Augusta can still make a chance at it. So the National Midwest is going to look a little hectic.
Wait a minute. What you're saying is, this book's off as 4 might happen the first round of the playoffs?
It could happen.
No.
The
Please,
number 2,
no.
3 seed. The number 2 seed could play the number 3 seed.
Never again. We promise never again.
It's gonna happen. Look out for South Park though, because they're on a run. They're on a 2-game winning streak. And they might be making a late charge here to see if they can insert themselves into the playoff picture. But Kansas City right now is at 4-9, so let's check Contankion rules here. For Tank Bowl, right now as it stands, it's Flint as the number 1. You got Llanfair at 4-10, Ottawa at 4-10, Lafayette, Mungyeong. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 teams involved in Tank Bowl. 6 teams in Contankion. Mother of God, why?
So, there's a chance we might have an 18 playoffs for the Tank Bowl. 18.
I think things are going to start filtering out here as the further on we go here, because we got week 16 next week, and then 7, and so we got, I think actually after this, yeah, we got 3 more weeks to go. Holy shit!
That's yes, but imagine if we have 8 teams all time for the Tank Bowl. Have to do like an 8-team playoff.
An 8-team Tank Bowl.
Just like the playoffs.
No. Fuckery abound. All right, so there we have it. That's where everything currently stands. Week number 16 on the horizon. Lafayette versus Winchester. We haven't featured Winchester much, so I think we're gonna put them in.
Okay, and I don't know if Mungyeong has been on this second half.
I don't think they have, but Boston just played.
Oh, okay. I see what. For some odd reason, you said Winchester, and I went, oh.
So. I was wrong guy. So it'd be Lafayette versus Winchester. Oh my God, Reading versus Flint. Maybe.
We'll laugh and talk.
Maybe. Madison just played. Llanfair. Madison just played. Saskatoon just played. Hope just played. Dinosaur versus Kingston.
That could be a good
something.
one. That's divisional too.
That's divisional. South Park versus Alaska. Ottawa versus Pittsburgh.
No.
Kansas City versus Burbank. Okay, I think we're looking at maybe a triple header with a double header with a football after dark.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely feeling Lafayette versus Winchester. Reading versus Flint because I'm a sicko.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And then Saskatoon just played. Hope just played. Dinosaur versus Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like Dinosaur and Kingston may have more legs on it than Reading and Flint. So I think what we're going to have... All right, so I think the games for next week is going to be a triple header. We're going to have Lafayette at Winchester, Dinosaur versus Kingston, and Football After Dark will be Reading versus Flint.
Okay.
Sound good? Sound good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
The insanity. The insanity.